In an ever-evolving digital landscape, for your business to thrive, you must adapt or die. Welcome to Marketing in the Age of AI, the podcast helping you harness the power of AI and marketing tools to revitalize and grow your business. And now here's your host, marketing expert and author of Authentic Marketing in the Age of AI, Emanuel Rose.
Welcome to this episode of Marketing in the Age of AI, and I'm remote in the Silver Bullet Express right now. I'm in the Flathead National Forest, just outside Glacier National Park, and through the magic of lithium-ion batteries and Starlink, I'm bringing the show to you today. And what a great show it's going to be, because I have the distinguished guest, Jason Barnard. He's a renowned digital marketing consultant and founder of Kalicube. He's award-winning, and he specializes in helping brands harness the power of AI to enhance their online presence. With deep expertise in SEO, content strategy, and personal branding, he understands the intricacies of effective digital marketing in today's dynamic landscape as we harness the generative engines that are so much a part of our lives. Jason, thank you so much for taking time to spend some of your day with me.
Well, thank you so very much for having me. I'm delighted. Now, I want to know, was that introduction written by AI?
It is absolutely written by AI and augmented by none other than Emanuel Rose.
Beautiful. The human in the loop.
That's right. We got to have the human in the loop. Well, the first thing I want to tell you, Jason, is I've noticed an amazing transformation in your LinkedIn, and it is really in the kind of the overwhelm of LinkedIn. It's gotten my attention in terms of the colors and the dynamism that are coming from the stills, and then the stories that you're telling. So I just wanted to say thank you for doing such amazing work, and it is actually enjoyable to me to see the posts that you're making.
Oh, right. Well, Joanne will be delighted to hear that, because she's the boss of the posts. And Veronique, who's the graphic designer, will be delighted to hear about the colors. And we've added previous clients to the banner. So we see that I've worked with personally Disney, with Ahrefs, with SEMrush as my clients, which brings enormous trust. And the colors really help, because it pushes all of that out there. And we've highly optimized the title and the description. And I've been building assistant GPTs, but we actually use Gemini gems. So it's assistant gems obsessively for the last 6 months. And the secret to those posts is that I've built a lexicon with a definition, factual definition, my definition, and why my definition is important to the wider marketing world. And feeding that to a gem really keeps it focused, and keeps it focused on our message, which makes us stand out. And it's been a 6-month journey, so I really appreciate that you've noticed.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And just the gems are the custom GPTs corollary.
For Gemini.
And
the other reason that we've focused on LinkedIn is that our data, we've got 9.4 billion data points covering 70 million brands, and we have detailed digital footprints on 1 million entrepreneurs. Now, Kalicube gives all of our information away for free, but we serve entrepreneurs who don't have much time, don't have the energy or interest to learn how to do all of this stuff themselves, and want to free up headspace. So we offer premium services to entrepreneurs who want us to do this for them and do it properly using our data. And our data tells us LinkedIn is phenomenally important. Now, I think we all know that instinctively, but we have the data to prove it. So we focus on LinkedIn, we make sure that that's right.
Yeah, and I think what the genius of that is that you're building this really strong brand footprint versus DMing the heck out of everybody like we get accosted by every day, right?
Yeah, and I think that's key, is we need to build an incredibly solid personal brand, in our case, for our clients and for myself, across the entire digital footprint. So some people will say, oh, I've done LinkedIn, that's it, job done. But if you let LinkedIn educate the algorithms about your personal brand, you're handing over control of your personal brand to rented space. You really want to build your own website and then point back to that, so that LinkedIn becomes a corroborative source and not the primary source. And then you can do Crunchbase, you can do Forbes, you can do Entrepreneur. I do Rolling Stone because Rolling Stone's really cool. As additional corroborative sources. So you end up with a digital footprint that's wide, consistent, on message, and relevant and authoritative. That's how you win the trust of these machines. And I think that's the important point we're going to be making today. You need them to trust you. They're recommendation engines. They recommend the best solution to their users. And your audience is a subset of their users. They're having trillions of conversations every day. You want them to recommend you to the subset of their users who are your audience. And the only way you will ever get them to do that is if they understand who you are, what you do, who you serve, and they trust you as the most credible solution in market.
Whew, that's it. I think we're done right there.
Right. Thank you very much. Have a lovely afternoon.
Yeah. Well, that's a beautiful summary. And we were talking a little bit earlier. I latched on to the term generative engine optimization about a year and a half ago when I wrote a small book about that, just to try to give people a toehold into GEO. Talk to me a little bit about the ontology that you're developing around GEO.
Right. Yeah. And I don't want to insult you. I didn't realize that you'd written a whole book about generative engine optimization.
That's okay. No, that's fine. I think it's such a dynamic space that we kind of latch on and try to explain things, and then there's more that is revealed every minute, every hour, every day. So I think it's great to have these conversations, understand where the terms come from and why.
Well, a couple of things is, number one, I think about this obsessively, and I have been for 10 years. And I think that's an important point for me to make, is I started Kalicube Pro and Kalicube, and I built the system for optimizing entities for the knowledge graph of Google, and then optimizing brand SERPs, and now optimizing for AI. I started 10 years ago. I've been waiting for the world to catch up with me. So I've had a lot of time to think about this. And when generative engine optimization became the buzzword, all I could think is, but you're talking about how these machines function. You're not talking about what they do for people.
Nice. Yep. That's a good twist.
AI Assistive Engines is a much more accurate term. I'm using it as an AI Assistive Engine. So it's AI Assistive Engine Optimization, which doesn't roll off the tongue quite so well, but it's much more accurate. And Generative Engine Optimization doesn't make sense if you're looking at AI in Gmail, or you're looking at AI in Windows as a native part of that program, if you're looking at it in Canva. And I think what we're failing to realize is that these machines are in every part of the software you're using every day already.
For sure.
They're not very prevalent, and they're not very obvious, but I'm calling that ambient research. So I talk about explicit research, where you're searching for something and you know what you're looking for. Implicit, where you're searching and you're not sure what you're looking for quite, but the AI will bring up your brand name. So, I'm looking for a solution to optimizing my personal brand for Google and AI. Kalicube and Jason Barnard will naturally come up in the conversation. But then you also have implicit. I'm writing an email, and it starts suggesting different text. My brand might get suggested in somebody else's email without me even thinking about it. That's ambient. Absolutely. And it's so far away from where we're sitting right now, and not generative at all. Well, it is generative, but it's not a useful way to look at it. It's an assistive engine. It's assisting the person. So for me, AI Assistive Engine Optimization is a much better term. And it's a term that I started talking about in 2018. I started talking about Answer Engine Optimization in 2018 with a series on SEMrush. And immediately in the first episode, talking with Dawn Anderson, she suggested to me that it was actually Assistive Engine, so credit to her. And that's what I've been on ever since. And as I said to you just before the show, it just occurred to me a couple of weeks ago that it's a perfect segue to AI Assistive Agent Optimization, which is the next phase, which is going to happen in a few years' time. So I would really like it if the industry would follow me and say AI Assistive Engine Optimization.
Well, but of course, the challenge is that we know SEO as a short phrase. So to me, GEO is like the replacement of that. But I completely get that we are moving to agentification ultimately.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think one of the things as well is, at the end of the day, it may well not matter whether people choose to adopt my term. If I can convince the AI that generative engine optimization is essentially the same thing as AI assistive engine optimization, I will get mentioned in the same conversations anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. So my job now is to educate the machines that those two are the same thing. So if you can add that to the show notes, that would help.
Okay, yeah, I'll make sure. Maybe I'll write a whole white paper on that for you, Jason.
Thank you.
Yes, of course.
I will help you, because
very nice.
I truly believe that's the case, and that the GEO term is going to be short-lived, and that we're going to realize that it's run out of legs. And if it is still used, it's going to be used because people don't want to change, because people are resistant to change, rather than because it's actually the right term. But I'm very confident in a world of agential assistance, in a world of ambient research that I talked about earlier, we're going to need a new term. So we might as well start now.
All right, I'm with you. I'm a firm believer in language, and that humans have to have language to describe situations, and so I'll work on that with you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, wow. I mean, so you've been looking at this for the better part of a decade. There's a lot of people who are still AI curious, or maybe are not in AI action yet. Break down just a couple of steps that an executive, a business owner, a CEO should be looking at if they're AI curious and they need to start getting over that hump into action.
Do you mean how they can use it themselves to help their business, or how they can approach AI when it's representing them to the outside world when people are searching around their topic?
Let's call it a two-part question.
Okay.
Yes, both of those things.
We'll start with the core one, which is, if you want the AI to represent you as the authority you deserve to be seen as, then you need to educate it. It won't figure it out for itself. Or if it does, it will figure it out for itself by luck, but it will be incomplete, and it will definitely not find everything that's glorious about you. And we've got, I'll just tell you one specific strategy we're currently implementing. It's called bringing the offline online. And I've been at 50 conferences over the last few years. And I've gone back through, and my team have interviewed me, what happened at each conference, who I met, who I talked to, what I did, what I spoke about, which talks I saw. And then written an article about it, which brings the offline online, and now the AI can see it. Whereas before, it was, in my head and nowhere else. And what was interesting is, number one, I'd forgotten quite how many people I'd met, quite how many things I'd done, quite how many talks I'd given.
Sure.
But the other is that the research around it is, let's find some proof. So I've made a claim. I was at this conference. I framed it in a way that makes sense to me. I talked to this person, I watched that talk, and that means that I'm an authority in AI Assistive Engine Optimization or Generative Engine Optimization today, because I interviewed Aleda Solis. I gave a talk about answer engine optimization way back in 2017. I was talking about reputation back in 2015. And then I need proof, because I've made a claim, I've framed it to my advantage today, and then I need proof. And what we found is there was a lot of information out there of people who had written blogs or mentioned me or mentioned the event. And that then gives us what we call claim, frame, prove. And I've made a claim, bringing something offline to online, framed it to my advantage, and proved it. That's the way to beat, if we can say that. That's the way to beat the algorithms.
Right, to augment your brand by bringing the things out of your head onto a digital footprint.
Yeah. I mean, I would start with optimizing your LinkedIn profile, your Crunchbase, and all the other things that exist already online. Next step, bring the offline online. And, I'm a member of the Entrepreneurs Organization, if you know that. 19,000 entrepreneurs around the world. I'm a member. I went to Deal Exchange in LA. I met lots of people, lots of great entrepreneurs. I was at an event in Paris last week. We're putting that online too. And that establishes me as a respectable, authoritative entrepreneur who's part of a major community.
Yes, interesting. And so you're doing it. Are those video interviews, or are they blog posts, or how are you actually building it?
A bit of both. When I've got a video interview, we add that, and when I don't, it's just a blog post with me saying I did this, I did that, and then linking out to social media posts. I mean, how on earth does the AI find all of the Facebook posts, the LinkedIn posts? Somebody once told me Google indexes about a third of Facebook. It's probably 5% now. But if I link to that specific thing saying this is proof of the fact that I was at this event because somebody posted on Facebook with a photo of me at the Entrepreneur Organization event in Paris last week, then it will find it because I've linked to it. And I've stated clearly, this is an interesting piece of information related to this piece of information that I've just given you. You've won the game. Isn't that simple?
It's beautiful. Yeah, it's very beautiful.
Oh, I like the word beautiful.
It is beautiful. It's elegant, actually.
Oh, that's exactly the word we use when we're building Kalicube Pro with Damri, Chris, and Linal. The key word is this an elegant solution?
Nice.
And elegant is the word. It's my friend Hugo Scott who said that to me 10 years ago when he was working with me on this. And he said, I want elegant solutions. And I absolutely love that because elegant means it works, it's scalable, makes sense to any human being. And if it's elegant, it's simple. And if it's simple, it's probably the best solution.
Yeah, and it's additive, right? And it feels like it's a natural expression of the human versus some clunky thing I got to get into, right?
I keep doing this. I feel 12 years old, but that's brilliant. Yeah. And the second part of your question, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead. Please finish. Yeah, that's good.
No, the second part of the question was, how do I use AI? And this is kind of interesting for me right now because I've obsessively, over the last 6 months, been learning to write assistant gems, so assistant GPTs on Google.
Yeah.
And I found an incredibly good iterative process for making the prompts better and better and better. And it's been a really long journey. I'm going to write an article about it soon for entrepreneur.com.
Nice.
To explain to entrepreneurs how you can better use AI. And what I did a couple of weeks ago, I was going to Entrepreneur Organization Forum meeting. And the forums are groups of entrepreneurs who help each other with advice. And so I went in and said, okay, I would like to talk to you about my plan to build Kalicube up to $10 million in revenue by the end of 2030. That's hugely ambitious. And I've been looking at that number. I just plucked the number out of the air. I said, $10 million revenue in 2030, that's my aim. With no idea how I might get there, just my instinct tells me it's possible. Absolutely. So I built a Gemini assistant. And I started by saying, okay, this is my plan. And every time I went through it, once I got to a point where I thought we'd made some kind of breakthrough and I had an aha moment, I thought, okay, this makes sense. I asked it to write the prompt for that piece. Then I created an assistant. Then I talked to that assistant and took it another step. And each time I got to a step where I felt that we had made sufficient progress in one chunk, I would say, here's the initial set of instructions, add these to that instruction.
Nice.
And then iteratively went through that. And by the end of, took me 7 hours of going round and round and round and round and building new assistants each time. That's really important because when you talk to the assistant, there's a lot of junk gets in its brain because you're changing your mind all the time. So you need to create a clean assistant each time with new knowledge and a new instruction. And that stops it getting clogged up with misconceptions and misunderstandings about what you said previously when you turned out to be not the best idea in the world. And that keeps it clean and you iterate through it. And I think I ended up with, let's say I did 7 iterations in 7 hours. And by the end of it, I had the whole business plan. I can see how we're going to get to $10 million by 2030. And I actually believe we can do it, which is stunning. And at the end of the day, I went to the forum and I was thinking I'm going to ask them for advice. And by the time I got there, I didn't need advice from a how to do it perspective. The guys on the forum were saying, wow, you've just completely laid it out. Doesn't seem to be any doubt. I can see that that's likely to work, even though I'm not in your industry. And I ended up just asking for shared experiences. I need to hire a really good sales team. Who's got experience with that? What happened to you? And they told me, they gave me the stories, and that's really helped me formulate in my mind. That's our weak spot, sales. So I need to solidify that. I've got shared experiences. I'm off to the races with that. So that iterative approach is really, 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 really powerful. And the fact of restarting the gem each time you've clogged it up with junk, it keeps it clean and keeps it moving forwards in a really sensible manner. I don't know why
it's a beautiful structure. No, it's okay. I felt like you just wrote a piece of music in that time, right? That's what it seemed like to me. It was a structured approach. Here's all the instruments, and now we have to see how they play together.
Yeah, that's it. And I tried, but I didn't do a particularly good job to focus on one aspect at a time, to isolate the different aspects and then bring them all together. But that's just one example. I mean, I've been building assistants and gems right, left, and center. And it's really weird after, what is it, 2.5 years since ChatGPT came onto the scene? I don't know how I ever lived without it. It's like Google
Isn't
Maps.
that the truth? Oh, I know.
You're thinking, how on earth did I manage with a paper map? Mobile phones, how did I manage when it was all landline?
Yeah, and I think that's what is fascinating to me about the people who say, "Oh, well, I don't want to use AI. I'm afraid of it. It's going to take over the world." You know, like all the histrionics around it. When it's like saying, "Well, I don't want to have fire because I like it how it is already." Right?
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is when you look at the SEO community, for example, who complain quite a lot about Google and its bad results and how it's not keeping its social contract, whether or not anybody has a good argument there, point is there's no point in complaining about it because you're not going to change it.
For sure. Yep.
So it's really that thing that Confucius talks about. Identify what you can change and make your best efforts to change it. Identify what you can't change and learn to accept it.
Yeah, I love it. Phil Mickelson, the professional golfer, he was in a group of pro golfers. They're complaining about the rules of PGA, blah, blah, blah. And Phil just says, hey guys, just play better.
Yeah.
Same idea, right? Control what you can control. Let's see. I want to just get a couple of tools from you for people to be able to assess what the answer engines know about them now, and then maybe that would help break out a plan of action for an executive who wants to build a personal brand.
Right. Well, we have multiple free tools on kalicube.pro. So you can look in the Google's knowledge graph, see if you're in the knowledge graph. You can check out your brand SERP, the search result for your name. There's a copywriting tool that tells you what entities Google understands in a piece of copywriting you've done. So go along to kalicube.pro/tools, and it gives you a list of the tools. Play around with them, have fun, it's delightful. A lot of SEOs use our tools. We get a huge number of visits to those pages. On kalicube.com, if you go to kalicube.com, kalicube.com, and you look in the top menu, there's an AI report. Click on that, and we will send you a free AI report telling you what the AI thinks about you and your current strategy. And we have a colleague called Dave Burnett. He's created a thing called LLMTel, LLMTEL.com. And you can go there and have a look and see what kinds of queries around your brand are going to be helpful and how visible your brand is for those queries.
That's very nice. So that gives people a toehold into at least establishing what they're doing now. And then I'm sure there's lots of other information on Kalicube as well.
And I'll give you one more hint. It's kalicube.com/guides, kalicube.com/guides. Go there, and we've got, I think it's, 7 free guides where we explain our techniques, our strategies. We're giving it all away for free because I believe that controlling your corporate, personal product brand in Google and AI is an existential question that we all have the right to do it, that the solution is sufficiently simple that anybody can do it. You don't need to be a geek. And we give that away for free. And as I said, our business model is serving business leaders who are time poor, cash rich, want to get their time back, don't want to have their head filled with all of this stuff, want to spend their time running their business and not worrying about how Google and AI represent their personal brand.
Well, that's a very complete view, and Jason, I appreciate your time and your thinking. I love the business planning that you did, and I think that's also a tool in and of itself for somebody who's listening in terms of how they could solve some immediate issues as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm loving it, and I've now got my business strategy plan guide thing, and I talk to it obsessively.
Well, it's good stuff. What's next for you or for Kalicube in the next few months? Anything you can give us a purview into?
Right. Yeah. Well, the business plan that I've now got, $10 million 2030. I keep saying it because the more I say it, the more I believe it, and that's
Absolutely
part of the trick. Is that as the CEO and the person who built Kalicube Pro, the system, 9.4 billion data points, 70 million brands, detailed digital footprint of 1 million entrepreneurs, we're going to expand that to 100 billion by the end of 2027. And that's going to be entrepreneur focused. So we're going to have the biggest data set in the world that is entrepreneur focused, business focused. How do you get AI to understand who you are? How do you get it to recommend you to the subset of its users who your audience? And the key is going to be what we're calling KaliNexus, which is the interface that translates all of our data, all of your brand narrative, into machine readable content on your website. And
nice.
It goes way beyond schema markup. People will say schema markup. It goes way beyond that. That's baby play by comparison to what we're going to launch. So the next 3 months, I have to build KaliNexus with my team. So we're building KaliNexus for the next 3 months. We're not focusing on client acquisition. And then from January, we can scale because we will have an automated productized system that we can scale. And so we can offer lower tier offers, get more people on board and scale the company up. And what I love about what we're going to be building is that scaling doesn't mean a drop in quality. It actually means an increase in quality. Because as I write these Gemini gems that are going to drive a lot of the AI automation, I'm seeing how much better it is than the algorithms that I was writing 10 years ago.
For sure. Wow. Well, it's ambitious and quite a gift that you're creating for all of us. So thank you for your hard work.
Brilliant. Yeah. Well, the next 3 months for me is focused on the product, on automation. Then it's going to be a couple of years focusing on sales.
Good.
And then hopefully it'll all be running and I can retire to the south of France. Oh, I already am in the south of France, so I can just retire.
No, man like you can't retire. We need that brain working on challenges for all of us.
Brilliant. And we need yours as well. You're going to write that white paper and I will help you.
Okay, Jason, I appreciate that. I hope that we can talk again sometime February or March and you can break down the Nexus for me.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, that's a great idea. That would be perfect timing. Thank you.
Okay, good. Thank you so much for laying all that out. And I'm really grateful for your time today. Hold on in the green room while I close this out and we'll say goodbye properly.
Thank you so much. That was brilliant, as always.
Cheers. I appreciate that. Well, a couple of real good takeaways from that. One is to check out the Kalicube links that Jason broke down, which will be in the show notes as well. But to take the time to make the things that happen offline and bring them online in a number of ways is a genius move. And then to make sure that it's interlinked throughout the webosphere so that it's searchable by the answer engines. And also take the time to spend a day breaking out this agentified or gemmed or custom GPT'd business plan and get your big, hairy, audacious goal and have the help from the answer engines to generate that and then bring it to your mastermind or your forum and get some other humans to look at it with you and break out conversations about things that you're still learning about, and get the help from the other humans and their experience from their work. Hope you found value in this. I know I did. I also hope that you take some time today to spend time either building custom GPTs or gems, or finding an AI tool that can help win back some of your time. And with that time, that you spend it continuing to upskill, that you spend it with your friends and family, or that you get outside and explore a national park, or just to feel some dirt under your feet. It's Emanuel Rose, Marketing in the Age of AI.
Thanks for listening to Marketing in the Age of AI. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. Your copy of Authentic Marketing in the Age of AI is available at Amazon.com or EmanuelRose.com. You can also connect with Emanuel on LinkedIn. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.